Now that's the Bible that Ann brought over. Okay, that was whose Bible now?
Andrew Thingsack,
Okay.
who was your great
Grandfather.
grandfather.
He was Anton's father?
He was Anton's father.
All right.
And this is from the Bible that was his Bible. And he was born in June of 1857. And then...
Somewhere in Norway.
Well, no, yes, Loitken. Loilon, Norway. And then in February, he married of 1980, February 13th of 1980.
1880.
Yeah, 1880. He married Ellen Finstad.
Okay. Finstad.
And she was born October of 1860. And they had it doesn't say in here how many children they had, but they had Ingeborg, who married August Anderson.
Okay. So
She was the oldest daughter. They also had Anton.
So at least 2 children.
Well, yes. They had more than that.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They had Anton. They had Sigurd. They had Marie. They had Nils. They had Ingvar. They had John. How many is that?
That's Passel. 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But now he came over here to this country.
Yes. And he was to bring Ellen. But she died November 20th, 1907.
So she never made it over here before she died. That's interesting because I always thought, I'd always heard that he had come over and she had decided to stay in Norway. Yeah.
But that isn't true.
That isn't true. She died before she could come. Huh.
And then Andreas, or Andrew, died December 13th, 1925.
Okay, now who was the one that lived out there by Ball Mountain?
That was Andrew,
That was Andrew.
the owner of this Bible.
Owner of that Bible, okay. And he's the one that walked into the Pontiac Library almost every day, or I guess every day.
Every day, no matter whether it was raining or shining or what. And he spoke 7 languages. And according to Miss Shelley, who ran the library and had for years and years and years, he read every book in the library, including law books.
I'll be darned.
So you come from a pretty good strain.
Too bad a little more of it didn't rub off.
Huh?
Too bad a little bit more of it didn't rub off.
Oh, it did. All of you people are smart people.
Now, that was Anton,
Anton's
my grandfather's father. It was
Yeah.
to my great-grandfather. Okay.
And
And in that Bible there, it lists all the people that, those children, and it lists who they married.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to that.
Sure.
But I don't know who that is. Can you make that out?
Let's see. It says, brother. Anton Thingstead, died. This is all the ones that died. October 8th, 1920.
Yes. So that
So-
would be,
That would be my grandfather.
he
Probably.
didn't,
He
he didn't die in 1920. He must have been
A
some
brother, maybe a brother, to,
of
Andrew.
Andrew. Mhm.
Ah,
Died in 1920.
okay.
See, I didn't know that much of that far back.
I see.
And of course, evidently he,
So he had a brother
yeah,
that he named a child after.
that he named your grandfather after,
Uh-huh.
Anton.
Okay.
Well, then they are Ingeborg's children. He was the oldest.
She was the oldest.
Yeah, he had 6 children, and I met most of those, and they were good, fine family, but they were from the turf of Minnesota. Because Ingeborg married August Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Alfred, born in 1905, Ellen, 1907, and Ellen came and lived with Anton Thingstad when Mother Thingstad was ill and helped.
Okay.
And Mabel, they had Mabel, who is still in, is it Big Rapids? I think it's Big Rapids, Minnesota. I've got a letter from her this last week.
Oh, good.
And she's been here. She's been here a couple times. And Arnold, who was named, and he was born in 1913, the same year that your father was born. And Agnes, and she's been here. She was born in 1916. And Irene was born in 1920.
Now, she's got some of those children, like you say, the one that lives at Big Rapids is still alive. When I talked with Peter on the phone the other day, he said he got a letter, or no, an email on his computer. That he didn't know how the fellow even got his address from a Thingstead in Virginia.
Well, that's Alfred Ingvar's only son.
That's Ingvar's son.
And he was here.
Okay. Yeah, it was an Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred.
Yeah. And I didn't know, I told
And
Peter, I
he's a
thought,
charming young man, or not young anymore. He's in his 60s. And your father and I visited him and his wife Dolores, 6 lovely children.
so he's Ingvar's boy rather than anybody from
yes.
Ingeborg. Okay.
And then, get my bracket. And then there was Andrew Thingstad, which was your grandfather. And he was born in April of 1905.
Okay.
Would that be right? No, that wouldn't be right. He married
He
Pernilla
married Pernilla in
in
1905.
1905. And he was evidently born in 1885. Would that be right?
That would be about right. Married her at about 20.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. I think that's what it says.
Yeah. And then Seaver Christian Thingstad was born June 16th, 1906.
1906.
And Esther was born February 27th, 1910. And Arnold, your father, was born July 19th, 1913.
1913.
I know that Arnold didn't know about this Bible because he had to have a different birth certificate to get into the service. And he traced it every which way
Yeah.
and had to get a affidavit from Cy that he had been born. Because
Well, they had the wrong month or something.
yeah,
down there.
August
If
19th.
they'd have had that family Bible, then they would have known.
No. And then there was Sigurd Thingstad, who lived in Grand Rapids.
Okay, now his relationship to, well, he was
He was
one of
your grandpa's
children.
brother,
brother.
and Andrew's children. And he married June 16th, Lily Margaret Rose. She was a beautiful woman, just beautiful. And she was, well, I don't know whether it was she that was married in 1891, or I mean, born in 1891, or whether it was Sigurd. No, June 24th, 1916.
That's when they were married.
Married.
Uh-huh. And she was born in 1891.
Yes. And then Marie, who was Anton, your father or your grandfather's sister.
Sister.
And she married Martin Ing
King.
in July of 1915.
I was a friend in Alaska.
E-N-G-E.
I'll be darned. I wonder if I'm related to him.
Well, I wonder if you are. You could be.
I'm going to have to talk to John when I get back there. John, we could be relatives.
And anyway, Marie.
She married him in 1915.
Yes.
Okay.
In Norway.
In Norway.
In Norway. And they had two children. Ellen Christine, born in 1917, and Harold Anton Ing, who was born in September 1928, or 1920.
September 28, 1920.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he came here and was at Lawrence, or at, what's the famous engineers college in
MIT?
Mhm.
Massachusetts Institute.
Massachusetts.
Technology, yeah.
He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He came this way and worked and installed the first, reactors and so forth at Michigan State University. And Cy and Margaret had him for dinner, and Arnold and I were included. And I think he was here 2 or 3 times. And then I lost track of him, and Arnold did too. But he was just brilliant. And I don't know whether, I think we met his wife. She came the second time he came from Norway. I don't know whether he ever stayed here. I really don't know. Probably Margaret would have known.
Yeah.
But he was a brilliant man, to do all of that. Everybody else didn't even understand what a reactor was. And of course, I wouldn't be.
And that was Harold Ing. Yeah.
So he is a cousin of yours. Then there was Nils Anthony Thingstad, and he never did come here to this country.
He stayed over.
He stayed in Norway. And
he was born, what, in
1921. It says here, February 1921. He married.
He married.
It doesn't give a date when he was born.
Yeah. He married who? Did it say?
Finstad.
Another Finstad. Okay.
And then there was Ingvar Finstad, and he married May Hansen, May Alice Hansen, in April
Yeah, I remember.
of 1904.
I remember meeting May.
No, I guess he married in 1927.
And she was born in 1904, probably.
Yeah, that's it.
May was born in 1904.
April of 1904.
And they were married in 1927.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she would be 23 then.
Well, I probably gave Alfred May and Inger had the only son, Alfred
Mm-hmm.
Thingstad.
I remember, I met him once when
He was at our
I
house.
was just a young
Yeah,
person.
you were just a little fellow.
Yeah,
And he came here to visit Inger. I think
Yeah.
he stayed at our house
I believe he did. I believe he did.
there. And he's an unusual man. Most kind person. Musically inclined. He had a band at one time. I don't know, maybe he still does.
Hmm.
And, well, they were here this fall. And they wouldn't stay here because they knew that I didn't feel well, and I was quite insistent.
Okay.
But they were here for a couple meals, and then we went to the village place one time. And Dolores is just a lovely, lovely person.
And that's his wife.
Yes, and she's very, very crippled
Oh, no.
with
Sorry.
arthritis. He waits on her hand and foot. I said, Alfred, you're a true Thingstad. I said, I'm not your father, but Arnold's father. Because his father was ill for a long, long
I
time
remember.
by stroke.
Yeah, Inger had the stroke for
Yeah.
years.
Yes,
We
yes,
used
he
to go
was.
visit him.
But he took care of his mother, he and Dolores. And when we visited them down there, she was still alive. Now, our Albert and Dolores, which you get them mixed up, you really do.
Albert.
That's Al.
Al.
Yeah,
Okay.
your cousin Al.
Esther and Tony's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Al. Okay.
Visited them too.
And Dolores.
And Dolores, but it's Mickey.
Oh.
We've always known her as Mickey.
I never knew Mickey's real first
No.
name. I just thought it was Mickey.
No?
Okay. Well,
And-
she's still Mickey.
You bet she is, and we love her to death.
Yeah.
But anyway, they went up to Grand Blanc and saw her, and then they came back, and they had expected to go. Well, no, Mickey had dinner. Where did they go when they came back? And I had dinner here, and Alfred was just having a fit because he didn't want me to work. He didn't want me to do anything. But they're very lovely people, and you would be very, very welcome.
Oh, I'm sure.
They live in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Portsmouth, Virginia.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we're going to call them Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
Let's see here. Ellen Thingstad, that was Andrews and Anthony.
Yeah,
Andrew's wife died November 20th, 1907.
That's why she never came to this country.
That's why she came to this country, and I want that really
Yeah.
recorded because that there's a misconception.
Yeah.
And she must have been a wonderful woman.
And she was a young woman, really. She died a young woman.
Yes, she did. Well, he was quite young. He wasn't very
Yeah.
old.
Oh, no. That's too bad.
And then Anthony died, the owner of this Bible,
Yeah.
December 13th, 1925, the results of the kick of a horse.
Huh. Kick him in the head or something.
No, I think it was in the...
In the abdomen?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Internal bleeding, probably.
Probably.
I'll be there.
He was certainly a person.
Okay, that's the brother.
Yes.
That was his brother over, probably still over in Norway. at the time.
Well, I'm sure.
Doing
And then Prunella,
which is my grandmother.
which was your grandmother,
Yes.
Melba. And then old Philip, she was such a nice person. I loved her dearly. I just
Her last
did-
name was Melby?
Mhm. And she died in 36, the year we were married. And she had said to me one time...
Did she get to see you and Dad get married?
Yeah. No, she died before we were
Before
married.
you-
She died in February. Was it February?
March.
March. Yeah.
March 18th,
Oh.
36.
And then Father Thingstad, who I told him once that I married him because I married Arnold because he was so like him. And he was
He died that same fall
He did.
in November.
uh-huh.
He died deer hunting.
but it was a
Heart attack, yeah.
And he, well, I can't say enough for him. How I ever got married into such a family, Philip, I'll never know. It also,
Yeah. Well, now,
so
those last three entries,
oh,
these
no.
last three that are put in by pencil, that looks like Ann Esther's handwriting.
Yes,
Must be,
oh, it
I'm
is.
sure.
I know it is. I know it is.
Because when Al said the other night that it looked like his handwriting,
Yeah.
he and his mom had to say, I know Al's handwriting, that looks just like Al's, so I'm sure that's Ann Esther's handwriting.
Yes, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And there was another lovely person.
Oh,
Oh,
gem of the earth.
yeah, she was.
Okay, well, then Pernilla and Anton they just had the three children.
They had the three children.
Okay.
Uncle Si.
Yep. Who had married Aunt Margaret. Do you know when they were married? By chance?
Well, they were married the second time.
I know that story.
But neither one were happy without the other, and
I
they
know.
finally got married again and had Peter, who was born in
Peter's what?
December 22nd.
No, not December 22nd. Oh, December 20. Yeah, that's right.
December 22nd.
Yeah.
And that must have been, now you're 52,
I'm 52. Right.
and he's 52. There's 6 months,
Was there just 6 months difference between Peter and I?
I think so.
Okay. I thought there was a year and 6 months, but
I think it is 18 months.
yeah.
Say, we've got to find that out. It's 18 months to the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was June
you
22nd.
were June
44.
Philip was born June 22nd to Arnold and Kathy.
Yeah.
But Margaret and Si were born
No.
and had Peter quite soon.
Okay.
I mean, within, I'm trying to think, they were born the second time in May.
Married the second time.
Married, yeah. Married the second time in May. Must have been May 30th.
Was Dad around, or was he off in the service at that time?
No, Dad was
when they were
around.
married?
He's the one that got Uncle Si to call Aunt Margaret. We came home from a holiday dinner. And here was Si in our apartment. Do you want me to go with
Sure,
the story?
yeah.
And
Love to hear those kind of stories.
anyway,
The family gossip, so to speak.
yeah, it
you know?
is. It is. But it should be recorded.
Yeah.
And Si was feeling way down. We had been at my Aunt Merle's down in Palmer Park for Thanksgiving dinner. And anyway, I don't know, I just felt sick because I didn't know that he wasn't with somebody. And Arnold sat down with him and he said, Si, it's time we got talking about this. He said, you aren't happy without Margaret. Do you know where she is? Yeah. In Philadelphia. Do you ever talk to her or anything? No. Why don't you? Well, our lives just took separate ways of going. And Arnold says, do you have her phone number? Well, he said, I guess I could get it. And he said, she lives with Miss Balderson and some other woman. And Arnold said, well, go to that phone, she's in the hall, and call her. Oh, he said, I don't know about that. Arnold says, you call her. It's time to call her. They talked for over an hour and a half, and all I began to see was dollar signs because Arnold and I was on such a tight budget we didn't have enough money. But when he came back from the phone, he said, Catherine, if Margaret came here, could she stay with you and Arnold? Why, I said, of course she can. I said, is she coming? myself, I was scared to death because I heard what a brilliant woman she was.
Mm-hmm.
And what a beautiful woman. And here I was, a little peon. And with no brains like that. But she came. And we talked. And then Cy went down to Philadelphia, and then he came back. And Margaret came back to her mother and father's. And eventually, they were married the following May. And had Peter and John. And you know, I loved her. I really did, but I was always afraid I might say the wrong thing. But she didn't act that way toward
No,
me.
I don't think she acted that way towards anybody that I know.
No, I don't think so.
She was
Andy always called her a team of wild horses.
well, she was always on the go.
I know.
I
Well, she
remember-
was doing good things.
Yeah, I remember when Uncle Si bought her it had to be a 51 or 49 or 50, I don't know, Pontiac convertible, red.
Oh, yes.
And she took us up to Grand Haven, to the Hayden's.
The three boys
cabin.
and I had Andy.
My gracious sake, she had the top down and a scarf on and going, you know,
Great
way over
times.
the speed limit. And we were just having a ball. That was great. The rest of you were a little more reserved than Aunt Margaret was. She
Well.
was ready to go.
I had an appointment with a psychiatrist for Andy, and so he and I came up on the train.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you met.
Picked
You
you up
met.
at
You
the
met
train.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, and we did have wonderful times with all that thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
Went to Aunt Esther's every holiday
And-
because
yep.
Uncle Tony wouldn't come to
I
anybody
know.
else's house. Except when Daddy got home from service,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought the champagne. He brought champagne, and he opened it and put a hole in the ceiling.
Tony did? Uncle Tony?
Yes.
Through the ceiling. Well,
Tony felt terrible. But we had a jolly good time, I tell you.
Oh, I'll bet. And I always remember Uncle Tony and Esther, of course, at the store in Commerce there.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you said, we were going over there for holidays. Yeah, really good memories.
They are good memories. They are good memories.
Of course, now their children.
Their children were Jim
Yep.
and Albert.
Yeah, in the one letter, well, yeah, the one letter, Albert is spelled with an E?
Albert.
Oh, there's one letter here where they're talking about Albert DeFlorio.
Now there's my girls.
Okay, well,
Well,
are they coming here?
yeah, can you
Well, we'll
stop
shut this off for a little bit. All right.
it? Well, there was, from Esther and Tony, there was
Jim and then.
Jim, Albert, and Antoinette is her real name.
Oh,
But
I
she's
didn't know
never
that
gone
either.
by it. Well, she's never gone by it. It's always been
Anne.
Anne. I've always wondered if there was an Antoinette in Uncle Tony's family in Italy. Now, I don't know that,
Yeah,
but I've wondered about it.
it would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then, from that was Esther's family.
We don't know much about Tony's.
I don't know anything about Tony's, and I don't think the boys do much. I don't know about Anne. She never talks about him.
Okay.
Because Arnold and I had a copy of Ben-Hur, the book,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and when Tony died, and of course, when Arnold died, Tony had borrowed that book and read it and returned it, you know.
Sure.
But that was the kind of thing he liked to read about. And so I gave that book to Anne. because I thought that it would mean something to her, and it seemed to. She seemed to like having that because of her father's
Sure.
association with it. So that was Esther and Tony's children.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cy and Margaret's children were Peter and John. And this is to tell you something, Philip. Not until we used to go up, Cy and Margaret used to rent the Hayden
Cottage in
cottage at
Grand
Grand Haven.
Haven. Sure.
And Margaret would come down here. They were building their home at that time, and she was working at Cranbrook. And they'd take me up there with the 4 boys and leave me for the week. Then Uncle Cy and Aunt Margaret and Daddy would come up there. Well, I didn't realize this until one evening we were sitting out there listening for the owl, the four boys and myself. And I said, "Come on, Peter, John, Philip, and Andy." And I stopped. We had 4 of the apostles. I had never known it and never thought about it. And when Margaret came up and Cy, I was telling them about it. And they said, "Why, for goodness sakes, we did it unintentionally." Cy says, "No, that was the work of the divine power."
Now, she was a Hayden.
Yes.
Right. And wasn't her brother one of, was it Charles or something, was a judge?
Her uncle
Uncle.
was a judge.
Okay.
And he was the one that was quite insistent that we institutionalize Andy so that he could have an education. But it didn't prove out to be that way because the education up there wasn't good.
Yeah.
And that's one of the regrets of my life. And yet, Philip, Dad kept saying, "Honey, we did the best we can, that we knew what to do on the advice of people that should have known." And he said, now, this was before he died, he said, "I can rest easier to know that he'll be taken care of after you go." And that's true.
Anyway.
It is bad. But at an awful price for Andy to pay.
I understand, it is. Well,
But he's very well taken care of. I mean,
that's true, he is.
with you
He is. He
and
is.
Andrew. Well, then Peter married Sharon Clements.
Mhm.
And John married Cheryl, and I don't know her maiden name. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know whether I ever heard of it. And then I married your father,
Yep.
October the 10th, 1936.
Just a month before his father died.
He
That's
died
when
in
he died.
November. And we had many happy years, but we thought we just didn't need to worry. We just had children right away. Took us 8 years
That's
to
all
have
right.
you.
That's all right.
And
Runs in the family. Took 5 or 6 years to have Heidi,
I know.
so. I guess that does it. On the Thingstead side.
Well, let's
That I can see.
There's just
Okay.
well, Jim married Shirley
Yeah, I remember Shirley.
Freshour. And they had
Sandra and Gary and
Jim
Jim
Jr.,
Jr. Yeah.
Sandra, and Gary. And Gary has had 4 children, a pair of twins, and a little boy and a little girl. Jim Jr. hasn't ever married. And Sandra married Gary Burnett. And they had twin girls and a boy, David. Nice young man. And then now she is married
To Mike.
to Mike Milosix. And a happier, bubblier person you'll never in the world see, or a better-hearted one
Yeah.
than Sandra.
I agree.
And Jim, in the meantime, Shirley and Jim decided they could do it better without each other. However, they're friends. They play golf together. And Carol. And he married Carol. Oh, I can't remember her last name. Well, anyway, he's married to the dearest little pixie you can imagine. And, of course, Anne married Donald Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And they had two girls, Karen and Christy. And Don was taken far too young. The sweetest man, just the sweetest man. He leaves cider on our doorstep and apples. Just plain sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne was graduated from the University of Michigan, as did Albert.
Who's married to Mickey.
He's married to Mickey. And they have two boys, Tony and Joseph. Joseph's the oldest, and he has three dear, dear children. And Judy is Philip. You just love her. You couldn't help it. And Tony is married to Vicky, and who is now, they've had one little boy, and Vicky is pregnant again. So we're all praying for that.
Good.
And Tony is another sweet, sweet man. Just sweet. He just knows nothing but love.
That's good.
And Joseph, too. Only Joseph is the intellectual. But Arnold and I loved him. I mean, we do love him. But all that family, I can't think of one of them that I can be cross with.
Careful now, we're recording this and you're going to make me blush, Mother. All righty. Well, I guess we
That's the
can...
family up to date anyway.
Up to date.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope I didn't
And
leave out anyone.
this is day before Christmas, 1996. All right. We'll stop it then.
Okay.